Hello everybody, this is your student Facebook meteorologist Sean Bagden, and we're going to go from forecasting for Grand Rapids, Michigan, all the way down to the tropics here, where we now have Tropical Depression 25 named here, right off the coast of Belize, it looks like, in the Caribbean Sea. Currently, pressure of 1,005 millibars and sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Moving to the northwest at 9 miles per hour. Looking at the forecast cone here, we'll blow that up for you. We can see that there's plenty of uncertainty with where this system is going to go. Spaghetti plots are literally everywhere with this storm system right now. So pretty much anywhere from the coast of Florida to the southern Gulf Coast of Mexico is in play right now, but currently in the cone, what we do know of certainty is that up here right around the northern side of the Yucatan Peninsula will likely see impacts from Tropical Storm Gamma, I believe this is going to be. I think. Don't quote me on that, though. But it's going to be Tropical Storm Gamma as it approaches the Yucatan Peninsula, where tropical storm warnings in blue are in effect and tropical storm watches are in effect in the yellow. Given its close proximity to land when it makes landfall, rapid intensification is not likely, especially for the period here until Monday afternoon about, as it starts to move into the warmer waters of the southern Gulf of Mexico, and likely weaker wind shear. We'll go over models on that. But the big key here across the Yucatan is big flooding rains as this storm slows to a near stall on the day on Sunday and even into the morning on Monday. We can see we don't make much progress, and extremely heavy rain is going to be likely pretty much anywhere here along the Yucatan near the Cancun region. I believe that's where Cancun is. Also, we don't have a rainfall graphic here, but I'd imagine we're looking at double-digit rainfall totals, especially given the amount of thunderstorm activity that is associated with this area of low pressure. We're going to head over to tropical tidbits really quickly, just to show you what the model guidance is looking at right now. I'm going to go to, there we go, Tropical Depression 25. And here's your model guidance. Again, anywhere pretty much from Florida to the southern Gulf Coast is on the table right now. And due to an area, we'll show you this on model guidance via the GFS, but we're going to break down in more detail why a more western track would favor a weaker tropical cyclone, whereas a more easterly track, like going the Florida direction, would result in a much stronger system, resulting in potentially a major hurricane that could make landfall on Florida if it takes the western track. So just keep in mind, everywhere in the Gulf is still in play with this system due to those weak steering currents we have right now and that uncertainty of where the center currently is. We'll show you why we're thinking a whole bunch of rain too. Let this load up a few frames here for a quick second. And here you can see already starting to get, this is the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico right here. And we can see even already we're seeing strong thunderstorms approaching the coastline of the Yucatan Peninsula right now. And these are going to continue all the way through the day on Monday, likely leading to double-digit rainfall totals up and down the Yucatan Peninsula as this thing slows to a stall. And as it gains convection around the center, we're going to be seeing plenty more rain and heavy thunderstorms develop around the center of circulation. From the looks of it, looks like we have a much larger than average area of influence from the circulation, so it could be a very big storm, and likely the big threat that we can see so far is just heavy rain and minimal wind damage in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Any U.S. impacts are yet to be seen because as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, many uncertainties do exist. So going on to models, this is current 200 millibar winds. According to the GFS, we can see that upper level anticyclone ventilating the thunderstorm activity around this tropical system over the Gulf of, the Caribbean Sea with minimal wind shear. Most of that wind shear is associated with this trough up to the northern half of the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to head into the day on Saturday now. And as we head into the day on Saturday, whoa, that's not what we want. There we go. As we head in through the day on Sunday, we can see our upper level anticyclone is moved to somewhere in here. It's very broad and disorganized, but it's in there somewhere. Our area of low pressure with upper level anticyclone. And as you can see, our trough axis really hasn't moved too much either. Still lingering up here in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Steering currents are going to be lacking for the first part of this forecast period here. Going into the day on Sunday, where is it? It's somewhere right here, right along the tip of the Yucatan, the northeastern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. Again, still seeing weak upper level flow, and if this were to continue, we'd have definitely a good amount of intensification into the Gulf of Mexico if it can interact with weak wind shear and those near 30 degrees Celsius SSTs, or sea surface temperatures. But now we get to the point where we start talking about why this system is going to be stronger if it moves to the north and the east instead of due west, which there's a camp of models that do both as of right now. And the reason for this would be if it moves west, it's going to be moving against the upper level wind flow. As you can see, it's very much south to north here, right out in front of this trough axis, which is moving through, and that would shear the thunderstorms apart mainly onto the northern side, and that center of circulation would likely become very exposed on the southern half of the storm, which is how tropical systems end up dying out here in the Gulf of Mexico because of that hostile wind shear. Well, that would happen anywhere with hostile wind shear, actually, and it tilts the upper level center and the low level center, and that starts to create more of an environment that a mid-latitude cyclone would enjoy. Looks more to be a baroclinic environment instead of a barotropic environment, which is where the upper level center and low level center are co-located pretty much right on top of each other. But if we move off to that north and easterly direction, the storm system will be going in the direction of the upper level flow. If we're moving with the flow, that decreases our storm relative wind shear due to the fact that we're moving with the flow, and especially with this upper level jet streak approaching from the west and moving to the east, it could actually help to rapidly intensify the system with the presence of warm sea surface temperatures over here. But that is still yet to be seen if that is going to happen. But that is definitely something that would help ventilate the system more so than shear the system, just due to the winds going in the same general direction as the storm if it were to move off to the north and the east. But after this, plenty of uncertainty does exist as we head into the day on Monday. We could see any slew of solutions occur from this western track to the northeastern track, because there's much uncertainty as to how strong this ridge of high pressure becomes. Right here you can see this little lobe that extends out. If this is slightly weaker and it's more shaped like this, we would tend to see the storm system move somewhere around that southwestern coast of Florida right here, which would not be good because we have very light winds aloft here with a slight ventilated flow with decreased storm relative shear occurring just off to the north side of the storm, and that would likely lead to rapid intensification into a major hurricane landfalling in Florida if that solution were to occur. But as of the last few runs of the GFS, this lobe of high pressure, it does extend far enough to the west that is not a problem as of now. Of course, we will monitor that in days to come, but in this very run of the GFS, we can clearly see that this lobe of high pressure extends west and pushes this system out into the higher wind shear, and it would end up getting sheared apart and likely weaken fairly rapidly after leaving the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Let's have a look at the evolution of this high pressure via the Euro. And we can, oh, this is 12Z Euro just coming out. We'll go back to 0Z. And we'll head up to Monday. And we can see on Monday the Euro shows a little bit different of a solution here. We have kind of these two waves right here, but basically the gist of this is that area of high pressure does have a weakness that develops and would allow our system to move off to the north here, and the north and the east, and would likely result in a stronger storm system from this hurricane right here, or tropical storm, currently tropical depression. And then you can see our second area of low pressure likely becoming our next tropical storm, moves into the Caribbean Sea and likely will move into the Gulf of Mexico. Although this is far out, but this does seem to be the more significant of systems, as wind shear will be much weaker in the Gulf of Mexico once this one arrives. Many different solutions again with this system, but most of them showing a very strong, rapidly intensifying hurricane going into the Gulf. More on this system and the new tropical depression coming later tomorrow, probably sometime in the evening. Have a great day, everybody.